trails. And there's a couple of ways you can see it. You can take this road behind us, takes you out 4 miles to the Reno-Benteen battlefield. You come back the same way. And as you drive after, you'll see 19 wayside interpretive markers that help to explain the battle. Be sure and take a look at those. We also have a 1-hour bus tour with a Crow guide on board. That's called Upsalica van tours. They take you in an air-conditioned bus on the same road, explain in an hour. You have to buy a ticket for that inside, and they'll do that on the hour today until 3 o'clock. It's a good way to see it as well. It's a beautiful day for a walk, and we have 2 walking trails. One is right behind me, and this is called the Deep Ravine Trail. And I'll talk about the fighting down there in just a few minutes. And be sure and take a trail guide out of that box that tells you what you're looking at. About a 30-minute walk down there. And also we have a trail at the end of the road 4 miles out. That's called the Reno-Benteen Entrenchment Trail. Another 30-minute walk, and you'll find a trail guide in the box out there too. We do ask that all of our visitors stay on the trails and sidewalks. Don't wander off in that battlefield grass. It'll damage our resource and create new trails. But the most important thing is for your protection against what?
Rattlesnakes.
We have rattlesnakes here, yeah, folks, and they're hard to see out there. They're very friendly, but don't try to pet them out there on the battlefield. By the way, another thing you might want to check out is over here by our parking lot. You might have seen it when you pulled in the parking lot. All those nice, neat rows of white markers that actually has little to do with the battle, but that is our national cemetery. It holds the remains of 5,000 veterans who served in the Indian Wars all the way up to Vietnam. That National Cemetery was officially closed in 1978, but you're welcome to walk down there and pay your respects to those veterans. And by the way, there's a guidebook that tells you some of their stories down in the box. Directly behind me, you have what's called Custer's Last Stand Hill, where George Custer and about 40 men were found after this fight. And the big stone on top of the hill is the mass grave where most of the soldiers are buried today. Right across the street, you will see that mound-looking formation, which is the Indian Memorial, a special place to pay homage to the American Indians who also fought and died in this battle. And that was dedicated in the year 2003. If you'd like to see these 2 monuments, the best way to do that is to walk up this sidewalk. It makes a big loop up there, and you can see both of them, because we have only 3 handicapped parking places up at the top of the hill. Well, folks, it's my privilege to talk about one of the most famous battles in U.S. history. It occurred here on June the 25th and 26th of 1876 when Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer and 650 men of the 7th Cavalry will attack a massive village located down that valley where you see those trees 3 miles away. And there's going to be 1.5 miles of teepees down there. It consists mainly of people that are known as the Lakota, sometimes known as the Sioux, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho under Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse. Down among those teepees is going to be about 6,000 to 8,000 people. And out of that population, about 1,500 to 2,000 are warriors. And this battle on the ridge behind me is over with in less than 2 hours. But it is the high water mark of over 400 years of fighting between the Euro-Americans and the American Indians. The day people come here and look at this ground behind me is sacred and hallowed ground. A place of reflection and reconciliation over this cultural conflict. And when you look at the battlefield behind me today, it looks very much the way it did 142 years ago, except today you see white marble markers dotting the landscape, which give the approximate location where individual soldiers were killed in combat. And you'll also see red granite markers for the warriors killed here, like the one peeking out of the grass to the left of the trail down here. Did y'all know this is the only battlefield in the entire world that has such individual markers? And some people say it's a place where ghosts walk in broad daylight. You got a little imagination. Why did it happen? It happened because we had 2 peoples that didn't really understand or appreciate one another very well. You know that